What's up, everybody? I'm True, and I'm here to tell you that Diablo is back with a vengeance. Now, as you may or may not know, the Reaper of Souls beta went live yesterday, and some people were able to get their hands on keys and are allowed to stream and make videos from it. Now, Reaper of Souls was second in total views last night on Twitch, topping out around 37,000 viewers. So there's a lot of people who love the changes that Blizzard has made, and I think it's safe to say that Diablo is making a big comeback. Now, first off, there's a new gem called the Diamond. When you put it in the helms, it reduces the cooldowns by a certain percentage. In the armor, it adds a certain amount to your all resist, and in your weapons, it boosts damage to elites. So it's a lot like a Stone of Jordan, except you can get extremely high amounts, like 17% extra increased damage against elites. Also, as far as the gems go, marquee gems now drop from monsters. So this is huge. We're going from flawless squares all the way up to marquee level gems that are going to drop now. And also there are 4 new levels of gems: Imperial, Flawless Imperial, Royal, and Flawless Royal. So they're adding a lot as far as gems, and they're dropping much higher level gems now to help us, make, so we don't have to craft the whole way up. We can make our own gems since they're getting rid of the auction house. Now second, as far as crafting goes, there are much more crafting materials in the Reaper of Souls beta right now. There are multiple different materials from each level of item. I mean, normal has their own crafting materials now. Magic has multiple. There's multiple rare and multiple legendary types of crafting materials, as well as different crafting items, such as scrolls and that such. Now, these crafting materials are needed, obviously, to craft, but also to enchant your weapons. And while I'm on the topic, enchanting is particularly awesome. So basically, what you do is you select the stat that you want to change. And what it'll do is it'll give you a list of possible new stats with the ranges that they can roll. So you click enchant, and you're provided with the previous stat plus 2 new random stats with random ranges. Now note that when you're enchanting, it is extremely expensive, so you're not going to be able to just enchant the entire day. I mean, it is like in the millions and millions of gold. So it's very expensive, but it's very worth it if you get a good roll. But then you choose the stat that you want to keep. Either you can choose your old stat or one of the 2 new ones, and then you can complete it. So you can keep what you got if the 2 new ones that you get aren't very good. Now you can use this also to try and get a higher roll on the affix that you already have. So if you have strength, but you want more strength, you can just enchant it until you get a higher roll of strength and just keep that. Ultimately, this is going to be the way for you to create the perfect piece of gear for your character. Once you find a piece of gear that you want that has good stats on it, you can just change whatever stat that it needs to make it the perfect piece of gear for you. Also now, gear in the beta and going forward with the Reaper of Souls is bound to your account. You have a 2-hour window once you pick it up to trade the gear to somebody else. After that, it is bound to you. It also gets bound to you once you enchant or transmogrify it. Now this encourages group play because you're able to swap your items very quickly once you find them, and I think it's a great idea because now you can play with a bunch of different people, different classes. You go on a run, you get your gear, and then you trade the items that you can't use to the people who can, and it's a great way to get together and play with your friends, and it encourages team play, which is very good. Now, gambling is also back. For you guys who played Diablo 2, you know about Geed from the gambling, but Geed isn't back. This is just a new NPC who lets you gamble. And basically, when you complete bounties in adventure mode, you get these blood shards, okay, every time you complete a bounty. Now these blood shards are used to buy a new piece of equipment from an NPC. You can buy any type of equipment except for a quiver, and it's unidentified, so you have no idea what you're getting. You could get the best item in the game, or you could get just a piece of crap. However, right now there's really nothing else to spend your blood shards on, so you might as well just gamble away. Just spend everything you have on a new piece of equipment that you need to upgrade. One of the big changes here, the Paragon 2.0 system. Now basically, for those of you who don't know, every level you get a point that you can put into one of the tabs. There's Core, Offense, Defense, and Utility. Now in the Core tab, you have your 4 primary stats, and each point that you put into those increases your stat by 5 points. In the Offense tab, your attack speed, crit chance, and your cooldown reduction get increased by 0.2% per point spent, while your crit damage gets increased by 1% per point spent. Now all of these have a cap at 50 points. Now in your defensive tab, your life and your armor go up by 0.5% per point. So you can increase your life and your armor by large percentages, which will just scale your life and armor hugely. You also have dodge, which you can increase by 0.2% per point, and then resist all gets increased by 5 per point. All of these again have a cap at 50 points. And the last, for your utility, the first option is always to increase the maximum of whatever your resource is. So if you're the Crusader and you're using Wrath, you can increase your Wrath by 1 point per point from the Paragon system that you put into it. Next you have Magic Find, which you can increase by 2% per point. Your movement speed, which you can increase by 0.5% per point. And your gold pickup radius, which increases by 0.5 yards per point. All of these, once again, have a cap at 50. But this encourages you to continue to level up, and you get all these points that you can basically help work your build around and make your character, obviously unique to yourself. And you can really scale the life and the armor and the resist all and really make yourself, a tank that can handle the damages in the new Torment difficulty, which is outrageous. Last but not least, the Crusader. Obviously, a lot of people are playing the Crusader. It's a very popular class right now because people want to try it out. It looks extremely fun to play. I mean, everybody that I watched the Crusader playing it had fun. It's a very visually appealing class. The skills are exciting. It is a very good pace of combat. I mean, you're able to do a lot. You're not just standing still like sometimes a barbarian does. If you're trying to be a tank, you can be a tank but still do a lot of damage and have fun. Like, you can blast through mobs of enemies and keep going on and moving. And it can range from like a very damaging class to a very tanky style build, but you're still doing a lot of AoE damage. You're able to focus on certain people if you want to. It just looks like a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to try it out. So as always, guys, please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with my future videos and to help my channel grow. I really appreciate everything that you guys do, every view that I get, every comment that I get. I appreciate it all. So thanks, guys, and please have a great day.